Trying to figure out how to be a man with no map, no compass, no GPS, nothing. Just you trying to figure out how to navigate something you've never seen before, never seen done right up close. That's what it feels like trying to grow up as a young man without a father figure in your life. Not just the absence itself, that's already a trauma, a pain on its own. And a lot of the times you won't even know that it's there or know how to handle it until you're older. But the practical reality of it, you're supposed to be learning something by watching somebody else do it, and that person's not there. And that's what we own today. The abandonment side of not having a father in my life, right? How that shaped this whole people pleasing part of me, the fear of disappointing people, all of it, and where that kind of core issue of abandonment came from. What I haven't really gotten into is what I feel is the other side of that coin. That coin just not having a dad in my life. The other side of that coin is the identity, my identity. The identity that was supposed to be shaped by watching someone, where you're a boy, a young man, trying to figure out what being a man is supposed to look like, and you don't have, and there's nobody there. You don't know what you're supposed to be watching, who you're supposed to be watching. You don't have the blueprint. There's no model or role model in your house that you can observe and study and accept what you're doing or reject what you're doing, or accept them and reject them and shape those thoughts of I would do that when I'm older, or I wouldn't do that when I'm older, or I would do that but I would do it differently when I'm older. It's like you're trying to reverse engineer something that's like just been handed to you, right? It's like I believe in aliens, random tangent, but it's like finding that UFO in Roswell and someone's like, here, build it and make it work. More realistically, you're not an architect, you're not a carpenter, you're not a house developer. Here, build a house. Figure it out. And you can see how unrealistic that is, but in reality, so many of us, especially children of color, people of color, young men of color, unfortunately, that happens a lot. And we don't truly see the repercussions of these until we're older, high school and beyond. My great grandfather was probably the best man that I have truly known. And as I mentioned before, he was gone before I finished middle school. So around 2008, right? Right before that transition into high school, right before it shapes you into the man you're supposed to be, right? So that's where I would have needed that the most. So I did what a lot of us have to do. We turned to what's available. I turned to what's available. And that's TVs, movies, music, my friend groups, the environment around me, trying to live vicariously through friends and families that had a father. This almost I don't want to use the term imposter syndrome when it came to that, because it's not quite the same, but in that same vein. And for a young man of color without a father in the house, the picture those things kind of painted of what being a man, doing your job, stepping up to the plate, the picture that was painted of what that actually looks like is very narrow. It is a set and bound set of rules. As I mentioned before, go check out that video on masculinity. Athlete, hard, emotionally rigid, emotionally unavailable, closed off, performative. Or if you can't do any of those, just be invisible. If you're feeling those things and you can't talk about it, if you're not those things and you can't talk about it, then that just makes you invisible because you don't have that space to voice that. And what I want to add in this video is to talk about the part of actively trying to find that. Looking for that compass, that map, that GPS, and what that search cost me. The overcompensating to prove, yes, I am a young black man. The overcompensating just to prove I can be tough, but in not that way. And whenever that started to catch up to me, whenever those things failed, whenever it didn't fit, there was always this question underneath of like, is it supposed to feel this wrong? Is this right? Is it supposed to feel this way? Is there something wrong with me? And those questions came from that molded and shaped from outside sources of what I thought I was supposed to become, of what I thought a man was supposed to be, of what I thought the right way to do things was. Having a battle against, well, I'm not necessarily all of those things. And that created that feeling of, am I wrong? Or is there something wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And that, opened up that rabbit hole of me questioning this whole identity part of me. And I actually had a chance to connect with my biological dad back in 2021, and I was not ready at that point. Whole plethora of other things going on that may or may not be spoken about on this channel in the future, but the opportunity presented itself. Wasn't ready, no capacity to do it, didn't do it. This April 2026 I did. March, April, somewhere in there. And something very unexpected happened in that is that without poking, prodding, searching, I began to see pieces of myself in him, which was very odd given that there was never any interaction between him and I. Like shared interests, ways of thinking, some bad parts too. I could recognize some things I have overcome, things I haven't overcome. It was just there. Like I didn't have to look for any of it, and it was this very strange, both simultaneously unfamiliar and unnatural feeling, but with some familiarity to it. Best way I can describe it. Point being of those interactions that kind of like crack some open for me is that some of who I am is always going to be who I am, regardless of whether he was there to shape it or not. So some of those things are just inherited. Those are parts of me, which just reinforce this almost somewhere between embarrassment and disdain for that that lost performative version of me that I spoke about in that video. It kind of reinforces that and just made me feel like that person that I was trying to adhere to these TV friend group standards, this idea that was always working against something that was already true, even though that something that was already true might not align with that, so they're always in conflict. And what his absence taught me is what I actually want to pass down to my daughter, to any other kids I may have in the future, to anyone that watches this video. Because the question isn't whether my dad was a good or a bad person. Other people that know him have the right or the backbone to come to that. Not the backbone, the backgrounds to come to that. You know, people are complicated. I'm not here to talk about any of that portion. The question is, what do I do with what I received in life, what I do have, who I am, and what I didn't get, what I don't have, who I'm not? And where I've landed with that whole thing, especially with my daughter, and hopefully someone watching this receives this as well, is that she's not gonna have to wonder. She's not going to have to grow up piecing together like who her dad is from a distance, or trying to re-engineer this idea of presence from absence, right? She's not gonna have to know that. She's going to know the role of a mother, the role of a father, because the cycle I experienced started further back, and the decision I've made is that it's not going to continue, right? And that's the cliche, this cycle ends here. But for me and where I am, that's so undeniably true that my daughter will never know that absence or the questions that should come from that absence. And on the other side of this, you don't need that blueprint that I talked about earlier. You don't need the GPS. You don't need that quote unquote handout. You can build it. You can fumble, you can figure it out, you can reinvent yourself, take the parts that work. It's slower and it's harder, and you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna get shit wrong, but those parts are the work. And I'd rather do the work than pass on that absence to someone else that didn't deserve it.